Welcome to Simplified UPSC by PPP, where we listen, learn, and grow together. Detailed lecture notes in English and Hindi, plus practice questions for prelims and mains, only on our Telegram channel. Link in description. Like and subscribe for more.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show that's really engineered to get through all that noise and give you the high-yield knowledge you need straight from your core sources. Now, we know a lot of you are using these sessions for some really serious prep, especially for exams like the UPSC. Our whole mission here, along with Simplified UPSC by PPP, is to make these ideas truly stick. So before we jump in, a quick and humble request. If this is useful to you, please take just 1 second, hit that like button, drop a comment, and think about subscribing or even joining our paid membership on YouTube if you're able to. It's honestly the support we count on. And a huge, huge thank you to all of our existing members. You are the reason we can keep doing this kind of deep analysis. Okay, let's get into it. Today we're diving into something that's literally at the heart of life, NCERT Class 11, Chapter 18, Body Fluids and Circulation. We're not just reading definitions, we're going to layer on that analytical thinking you absolutely need.
Yeah, and this deep dive is just crucial. Understanding transport and homeostasis, how the body keeps its balance, that's the bedrock for all of human physiology. Our mission today is to really distill the mechanics, what's in blood, how the heart regulates its own beat, and why the timing is just so precise. We're looking for those little details that really separate true understanding from just memorizing facts.
Let's start right at the bottom then, with blood itself. It's not just a red liquid, right? It's technically a specialized connective tissue.
Exactly. It's made of two main parts. You have the fluid matrix, which we call plasma, and then you have the solid bits, the formed elements.
Okay, so let's focus on that plasma first. It's about 55% of our blood. What's actually in it?
Well, it's mostly water. About 90 to 92% is just H2O. But dissolved in that water are the really important things. You have minerals ions like sodium, calcium, chloride.
All those electrolytes we hear about.
Precisely. They handle things like osmotic balance and pH, and then you have the organic stuff, glucose, amino acids, lipids, all being transported around.
And the big ones, the plasma proteins, they're not just passengers, are they? They have jobs.
Oh, absolutely. They are the workhorses. And there are three main groups you have to know. First up is fibrinogen.
Fibrinogen, that sounds familiar. Clotting.
You got it. It's the key protein for coagulation or blood clotting. Without it, we just keep bleeding. Then you have the globulins. Think of these as your defense force. They're fundamental for your immune response, for making antibodies.
Okay, so clotting and defense, what's the third one? Albumins.
Yes, albumins. They are the most numerous, and their main job, their really critical job, is maintaining osmotic balance.
What does that mean in simple terms?
It means they keep the water in your blood vessels. They're large proteins, so they create this pressure that pulls fluid back into the capillaries from your tissues. It stops you from getting, swollen and helps regulate blood pressure.
Right, so they're managing the fluid volume. Okay, I see. Now, a term that always comes up is serum. People use it interchangeably with plasma, but that's not right, is it?
Not at all, and it's a vital distinction. Serum is just plasma without the clotting factors.
Oh.
When blood clots, the fibrinogen gets used up. The yellowish fluid that's left over, that's serum. It's that simple.
So if you want to test for antibodies without the clotting getting in the way, you'd use serum.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move to the other 45%, the formed elements, the solids. Starting with the big one, red blood cells, or erythrocytes.
Their whole purpose in life is transporting gases. Oxygen, mostly, but also carbon dioxide. And their structure is perfectly designed for it. In humans, they're biconcave, like a little donut indented in the middle.
And crucially, they don't have a nucleus, right? Why is that so important?
It's all about maximizing space. By kicking out the nucleus and other organelles, the cell can pack in as much hemoglobin as possible. Hemoglobin is the protein that actually binds to the oxygen.
More hemoglobin means more oxygen. It's an efficiency thing.
A total efficiency move. That biconcave shape also increases the surface area, which means faster gas exchange. It's a beautiful piece of evolutionary design.
Okay, so from the high-volume transport guys to the defense force. White blood cells, the leukocytes.
WBCs are your body's mobile army. Unlike RBCs, they do have a nucleus. They're fighters. You've got different types, like neutrophils that literally eat pathogens, and lymphocytes, which are your special ops for the adaptive immune system.
And the third piece of the puzzle, the platelets. They're not even whole cells, are they?
No, they're just little cell fragments. They're called thrombocytes. But they are absolutely critical. Their job is to kickstart the whole clotting process.
So when you get a cut, they're the first responders.
The very first. They rush to the site and release factors that begin this whole cascade. If your platelet count drops too low, you get clotting disorders. It's a very serious problem.
Right. So this complex fluid needs a way to be typed for transfusions.
Yeah.
Let's talk about blood grouping, the ABO and RH systems.
Sure. The ABO system is all about two antigens, basically surface markers, called A and B. They can be on the surface of your red blood cells. If you have A, you're type A. If you have both, you're AB. If you have neither, you're type O.
And your body makes antibodies against the ones you don't have.
Exactly. And the RH factor is just another antigen. You either have it, making you Rh positive, or you don't, making you Rh negative. It's the combination that determines who you can safely receive blood from.
Now, let's go back to clotting for a second. We know platelets start the process.
Yeah.
But you mentioned a cascade. And here's where it gets really interesting. For an exam, there must be a key ingredient, a chemical switch that makes it all happen. What is it?
There is. The absolute non-negotiable linchpin of the coagulation cascade is the calcium ion. Cal plus plus Ag.
Calcium. Not just for bones, then.
Not at all. The whole cascade is a series of steps where one protein activates the next one. Many of those activation steps simply cannot happen without calcium ions present. No calcium, no clot.
That's a fantastic detail. So that's why they use chemicals that bind calcium when they want to store blood without it clotting.
That is precisely why. You remove the calcium, you stop the cascade cold.
Amazing. Now, we've been talking about fluid inside vessels, but it's a closed system under pressure. Some of it must leak out. This brings us to that sort of missing link, lymph.
Right. So as blood flows through tiny capillaries, the pressure pushes some of the watery plasma, along with small things like salts and glucose, out into the spaces between your body's cells. That fluid is tissue fluid, or lymph.
And what's its job out there?
It bathes the cells, delivering nutrients and picking up waste products. Then the lymphatic system, a whole separate network of vessels, collects this fluid, filters it through lymph nodes to check for invaders, and eventually returns it to the bloodstream.
So how is it different from the blood plasma it came from?
It's almost identical, but with two key things missing. It doesn't have the big plasma proteins like albumin, and it doesn't have the red blood cells. They're just too large to squeeze out of the capillaries.
I see. It's like a filtered, clear version of plasma.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, we have the fluid. Now we need the engine that moves it all. Let's shift to the heart, a four-chambered muscular pump.
Yes, and its structure tells you everything about its function. You have the two upper atria, which receive blood, and the two lower, more powerful ventricles, which pump blood out.
And the walls of the ventricles are way thicker than the atria.
Much, much thicker, especially the left ventricle. The atria just need to give a little squeeze to push blood into the ventricles right below them. But the left ventricle has to generate enormous pressure to pump blood to your entire body.
Right, from your head to your toes.
Right.
And the heart is famously auto-regulated. It beats on its own. The term is myogenic.
Myogenic, yes. It means the signal to contract is generated from within the heart muscle itself, from specialized tissue called nodal tissue. It doesn't need a signal from the brain to beat.
And the main hub for this is the sinoatrial node, the SAN. Why is it called the pacemaker?
Because it's the fastest. Of all the nodal tissue, the SAN generates the most action potentials per minute, about 70, 75.
75, right.
Yeah, and since it fires first and fastest, its signal spreads out and triggers the rest of the heart before any other part has a chance to start its own slower rhythm. It literally sets the pace.
Giving us that average 72 beats per minute, okay? And this rhythm creates the cardiac cycle, one complete heartbeat.
Exactly. And that cycle has two main phases. Systole, which is the contraction phase when the heart is pumping blood out, and diastole, the relaxation phase when the chambers are refilling.
Systole is the squeeze, diastole is the fill.
You got it. And the famous lub-dub sound of the heartbeat is actually the sound of the valves snapping shut during this cycle.
Now, here's a key number for anyone studying, the timing. How long does this whole cycle take?
It is incredibly precise. One complete cardiac cycle takes just 0.8 seconds.
Less than 1 second. Wow.
Yeah, in that 0.8 seconds, the atria contract, the ventricles contract, and everything relaxes to refill. This rapid cycle is what allows the heart to pump about 5 liters of blood every single minute.
And that precise one-way flow is managed by the valves.
Absolutely. The valves are just passive flaps that open and close based on pressure differences. Their only job is to stop blood from flowing backward. They ensure everything moves in one direction.
So we know about the main circuits, pulmonary to the lungs and systemic to the body. But there's some special dedicated routes too, aren't there?
Yes, two we should definitely highlight. First is the coronary system. This is the heart's own personal blood supply, a network of arteries and veins that feeds the heart muscle itself. A blockage here is what causes a heart attack.
So the heart pumps blood everywhere, but it also needs to feed itself first.
It has to. It's the hardest working muscle in the body. The second one is the hepatic portal system.
Hepatic means liver, so this involves the liver.
Right. Blood leaving your digestive tract, which is full of newly absorbed nutrients, doesn't go straight into general circulation. It first travels through the portal vein to the liver.
Like a processing center.
Exactly. The liver processes, stores, or detoxifies those nutrients before releasing the blood into the main bloodstream. It's a critical quality control step.
We've established the heart is myogenic, it has its own rhythm, but that rhythm can't be fixed. It has to change if you start sprinting, for example. So how is it regulated?
Right, so while the SAN sets the baseline pace, the heart's function is constantly being moderated by the neural system. There's a special control center in the medulla oblongata of your brainstem.
And I assume this uses the autonomic nervous system, the ANS.
Precisely. The two branches of the ANS act like a gas pedal and a brake. The sympathetic nervous system is the gas pedal. It speeds up the heart rate and increases the force of contraction when you need more blood flow.
And the parasympathetic is the brake.
Exactly. It slows the heart rate down, bringing it back to a resting state. This constant push and pull allows your heart to adapt its output perfectly to what your body needs at any given moment.
So it's this beautiful combination of intrinsic rhythm and external moderation. It's the definition of dynamic control.
It is. It's a high level of coordination that you see in all advanced biological systems. They have their own internal operating rules, but they're constantly taking feedback from the wider system.
So, after all that, let's distill this down. What are the absolute critical takeaways for someone preparing for an exam?
Okay, 4 things to lock in. 1, know the difference between plasma and serum. Serum is plasma minus the clotting factors.
Got it.
2, calcium ions, Cat++ air are the essential key for blood coagulation. 3, the SAN is the pacemaker because it fires the fastest, around 70 to 75 times per minute.
Right.
And 4, that magic number. The entire cardiac cycle is completed in just 0.8 seconds.
And I think the big conceptual idea here is that regulatory model. The heart's control is this balance between its own innate self-regulation, being myogenic, and that external modulation from the nervous system.
Yes. And that principle of intrinsic function being moderated by external signals is everywhere in biology. Think about it. It's like how light affects seasonal breeding in animals. The animal has an internal reproductive cycle, but an external signal, like the length of the day, modifies it.
So it's a universal biological theme. That's a great way to think about it.
It's the key to understanding how complex systems stay in balance.
A really powerful framework. On that note, we are so committed to bringing you these deep dives to help you on your preparation journey. If you found this useful, please do us a huge favor and hit that like button, share a comment, and consider subscribing or joining our paid membership on the Simplified UPSC by PPP YouTube channel, if you can. And again, to all of our existing members, thank you. Your support is what truly makes this kind of analysis possible. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.
Thanks for watching. Follow us on Telegram and Instagram. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.